Alright, welcome back everybody. It's your host, Jeff Zeiser, today on the slow ascent. Today we're going to continue studying 3-4 Komoku Joseki. Still with the low approach, right? The night approach is what it's called, but it's the low night approach. Last time we did some of the Kosumi variations. We're actually going to talk about one of those in a future video that also relates to pro matches. Studying pro matches. But right now, we're going to try a different one, everybody. This one is interesting because I've only recently started using it. It has a couple pros. We'll talk about this as we go forward. Several of these have very few variations. Now, why is that good? Fundamentally, they're simple. Simple means you can master them better, and then the use cases make a lot more sense. And then you can use them in your games and not make a mistake. Today, we're going to do the two-space extension, those anchoring moves that work towards the star points. So this is the Nikan Hiraki, right? Hiraki it's a Biraki, right? Because 10-10, but Nikan Biraki, it's you're getting towards here, you're extending. Now, what does this have to do? We talked about this one in the last video, but when there's a relation, say white thickness. Let's do really simple thickness. When white's got some thickness up here, where those other Joseki we saw wouldn't work, because you're basically extending into an area you can't extend to get the point value. This is the one you want to do. Again, there's only 2 stones, but in the early game, right, the Fuseki, in the Fuseki, you kind of look at the board by itself, right? So looking at that, you're outnumbered 2-1, or sorry, 50%, right, 3-2. So in a 3-2 position, you basically want the safest position you can get. All right, so white has a couple variations. We'll study maybe 1 or 2 of them today, depending on time. First one, I was going to call it a game-up, but it's not even that. It's this big shoulder hit up here. I guess you could say it is an Ogema, right? But more importantly, it's a shoulder hit. So you have the shoulder hit for 1. You have the 3. I have to count my stones again. 4 stone extension. Looks like a 3 and 4 stone extension. So 1, 2, 3 here. Although I think I wrote in my book wrong. Let me see this. 1, 2. Yeah. So you got your extension here, a 3 stone extension, or conversely, 4 stone extension. So again, just looking at these positions, right? Pretty nice. 3 stone position, pretty nice. Shoulder hit, safest move. So we're going to be reviewing the safest move first. Now again, reminder, black picks this because of thickness here. We'll talk about another case where the extension's worth it. Okay, this Joseki is the first one, the shoulder tsuki, right? The hit in the shoulder. So how does black respond? Right, first, black connects. Then, white hits the 3-3, takes the corner, black connects. White pushes up with 5. Black connects, 6. So already we've stopped. Just take a look at that, right? So what do you see? Black basically has life. Little chance right here and right here to get out and cut and that kind of thing, right? But you have pretty much guaranteed life because you've got a couple moves here. You've got like this on the corner, right? And he closes. You've got that extra eye in the corner, very alive. That's probably still it's probably a 6-point, 10-point move. It's not a small move. Probably Yosei or forcing, but it's very unbad. So there you go. That's the first combination. This one's pretty good. Now, with all of these corner moves, there are variations worth talking about, which is Fukikawari, which is the change trading positions. In this case, bad for black, as the book says. It's Shiro Yoshi. It's good for white. So some of these positions, when the enemy attacks a 3-3, these 3-4 low night approach, sometimes black can switch and get a profit. The short version is play variations you know. So this is just the 1 stone, right? So if you're black, you have to know here, can I switch with white and get a profit or not? If you know that, like in this case, it's good for white, just don't do it. But some people don't know that, so what do we do? Okay, let's say you hit here, And I think this varies at after the hane. Let's see, yeah, after the 3-3 entry. So you go 1, 2, 3. Let's see how far we get. I have to get my orientation right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm looking, everybody, stand by. Making sure I'm not missing any. 1, 2, 3 stones. We've got the hane. So yeah, hane 1. Oh, is that an outside hane? I'm looking at it, everybody. Give me a second. Oh, you still gotta get the hane under. Why would white do that? I'm still trying to figure out why white would ever trade this. Seems so bad. Okay. We've got this stone. We've got that. So if somehow, because I'm looking at the move order here, very strange. Oh yeah, here we go, duh. I have to logically get through this. So 4, 5, right? So that's the normal trade. So let's do that one more time, because even my brain doesn't always get it right the first time. So we'll go here. Black decides to extend. White decides to go with the shoulder hit. Black extends once. White enters 3-3. Black hanes. White hanes. And remember, this is supposed to force this connection. Let's say black is stubborn and doesn't want to do that. Okay, that 1 then is here. And again, if you're new, these kind of moves can very much terrify you. Okay, so the 2 then becomes 2. You're both Atari, right? So 1, 2, 3. Black takes. 4. White hits under. 5. Black connects. 6. Oh yeah, white goes here. So, oops, sorry everybody. Look at that shape. 7. Let me see if I got that right. Yep, 7 here. An outside hit. 8. White connects. 9. Black takes a stone. 10. White gets 2 stones. Okay, and there's still aji here for white. So this is the switching the position, right? The fukikawari, the trying to get a trade. I'll show you later other variants where this is entering the 3-3 and you can trade and it's good. Short version, looking at my notes this week, I would say if there's like if there's a pincer out here for black, sometimes the trade can work pretty good. In this case though, this position is stronger for white than for black. It's a fair trade. Now this is one of the hard lessons of Go, is learning to take the trades. It's hard. Now, we've only done one combination so far. You might say, Jeff, there's other ones, right? Oh yeah, there's other ones. Okay, so this is the first complicated. I'm seeing the next one I think will have to be its own video. The next one involves, I'll show you, we'll clear our stones. The next one involves this. So 3, 4, approach, extend. The next complication comes here. White does a 3-stone extension. Now the book doesn't even give another option. That is to say, black should always do this immediately. That is to say, you gotta invade, right? You gotta uchikomi. If you don't, it's too passive. You're giving too much away. We'll study some of these. Oop, there was a stone. We'll study some of these variations as well. I've been going 9 minutes. I don't want to keep my videos too long, so I'm going to stop here. We'll study through these. This one's interesting in the way I've learned to like it. That sounds funny, but some joseki you know and that you don't like them. This started as one of those I don't like. The subsequent video, is going to start basically the overlap of Joseki videos and how they work in pro games. So I'm going to go through some of those variations, and that'll come up with some of my own games too. Now I will say, last note on this shape, sometimes you have this and the enemy is doing some over here, and sometimes the enemy just won't attack your corner to do something with your komoku. One of the hardest moves for me to learn to play, like this is already hard for me to play, right? Just when I get approached, approach, play here. AI is really like this kind of move, which is to say you do a long hiraki when you haven't been approached yet to attack a white position. Now, why would you attack this? We'll talk about it more when we get to some of the pro games. But right, that is such a good move for white. If you have sente, right, you're going first. You have an unapproached corner and you're black. That's delicious. Now this is a huge extension, right, but it hasn't been threatened here. And what, is he going to threaten it here now? Like, look at that. Look at that moyo. It's huge. Again, I don't even like the high extension, the 2-space high. Let's make symmetry. Look at that. Or that. So learning to use what some authors would call the secondary axis, or I guess you could say using the primary axis of your stone before it gets attacked. That is a hard training to learn. AI review can help with that. Using the bot to review definitely helps you see it. But something like this is a very good shape, right? You're starting to make territory. And again, one more move, you're starting to make the right shape, right? And then again, what's the superpowered shape? That's starting to look really great. Now you'll notice that'll take 4 moves. And by if you're curious, we'll study at some point what should white be doing. White should be reducing in here somewhere, obviously. Because if this gets like one more stone, or even some, one more stone, a nice symmetrical stone, it's over. So this is the goal. Why you ever wonder, like, why is he reviewing 3/4s first? They're very powerful, right? That's building territory. That's why you should care. It's good shape. And again, if he had one here white, and you managed to extend twice into what he wanted to build, it's a dual purpose attack. It's great. So we'll be studying these more in the application. I'm slowly working my way through it. But otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.